Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, and back with another reaction video. Today, we're gonna react to efficiency is overrated. It really is. Like y'all point dexters with the analytics and shit. That shit is overrated, bro. I'm telling y'all right now, analytics is overrated. It's overrated. Yeah, analytics is ruining basketball. It's been ruining basketball. I don't think we need to discuss that. Analytics are ruining basketball. It's turned every team into the same fucking team. Every team is shooting threes. Every team is setting a handoff to get to the corner. Everybody's trying to wait for that. Got a guy just standing there in the corner that don't move the whole fucking game. Like if I'm on defense, I'm really just like I don't see how defense hasn't gotten better when teams are doing this exact same play over and over and over again. I understand sometimes personnel, you got to have good personnel. The personnel has to be right on the floor. But at the same time, teams do the same fucking play every single time. Every single time. You see the same shit. Niggas get the ISO at the top of the key. They start to make their move. The defense reacts. They kick it out to the open shooter in the corner. Shoot it, either he make it or he brick it. Or if you got a really good player like a Kevin Durant per se, you get him to that midi, get to his spot, pull up every time. Or he get to the basket and draw the foul. It's the same exact shit every time. There's no differential. This is why the 2000s and the 90s were probably the best. Because there was so much diversity on the floor. There was so much individualism on the floor. This is why people like Allen Iverson is so. This is why people love niggas like Allen Iverson. This is why Kobe is so different from a lot of niggas. This is why Jordan was so different from niggas. You had niggas like Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Dirk, like everybody was different. Everybody was unique. Nowadays, it's like damn near everybody doing the same thing. Unless you got like a really good talented player, like you see before you, like unless you got like a really super talented player, it's not really gonna hit. That's just me though. That's just me though. But anyway, so I think efficiency is overrated. I think analytics have ruined the game. It's taken away the freedom of players to do what they want to do, and it's just turned everybody into just stand at the top of the key, wait for the point guard or the main player on the team to make their move, so that way the defense can react and collapse, and we can get open plays, so and we can get open shots to open shooters. That's really literally what this has turned into. Or it's trying to set the screen for the star players so they can get to their spot and get them easy buckets. But that's just me though. That's just me though. That's why I don't really watch the games in its full entirety no more. I'd rather just watch the some games I do watch in their full entirety when I'm at work. But for the most part, I don't really be watching full games like that. I don't care for them no more. Unless I'm going to the actual game, I don't care for them no more.
Is efficiency overrated? I know that sounds stupid. That sounds like an oxymoron. Clearly, you want to be as efficient as possible. But the reason I'm asking this question is because recently Chandler Parsons went out and said he believes Kevin Durant is better than Kobe Bryant all time. Now, a lot of people had strong...
And Chandler Parsons, I saw that too. Hey, Chandler Parsons, bro, you need to... Hey, Chandler Parsons, bro, when we see you out here in the streets, bro... Like that, nigga! Yeah, hands and feet when we see you, brother. Don't you ever disrespect Kobe like that. You was a trash-ass, overrated-ass player. And Kobe actually gave you your props. Bitch-ass nigga, but once again, you want to join that. You want to join in with everybody else because you want to fit in now. Fuck you. Shut up. That man gave you props. Kevin Durant ain't never gave you props. LeBron ain't never gave you props. You been trash, bro. You stay getting injured, and then you robbed the Memphis Grizzlies of all that money. You robbed the Memphis Grizzlies of all that goddamn money. Everybody in Memphis should be whooping your ass.
Reactions to that comment. I don't agree with it, but I don't think it's the most outlandish statement to make. But if you believe that, you're probably believing that in large part due to efficiency. But how do we measure efficiency? How do we put context around it? Not necessarily
efficiency with Kevin Durant couldn't even touch what Kobe Bryant did throughout his entire career. I don't know where y'all getting at with this. I don't know why y'all think analytics prove that a player is better than a player. Nigga, the eye test. Nigga, the eye test. Do you see what we see? I seen Kobe destroy teams on a nightly fucking basis. Even with Shaq. This nigga was destroying teams then. Y'all think Kobe was taking off when Shaq went to Miami? No, nigga. Kobe was destroying teams when Shaq was there. Y'all need to really put some respect on Kobe. Y'all act like Kobe was like on some Chris Middleton type stats. Like this nigga was averaging like 22, 23 a game while the big man was putting up 30. No, it don't work like that. Them niggas was putting up identical fucking numbers. Shaq could average 30, Kobe would have like 29 or have 30 right with him, bruh. Like that nigga Kobe was really him, bruh. Y'all niggas didn't grow up in the era that I grew up in, so y'all didn't really see Kobe. Y'all got to see Kobe in his later years when he started to get old and his body started breaking out on him. I saw Kobe in his prime when that nigga was really that nigga, bruh. Y'all need to shut the fuck up with that shit. Stop using analytics to prove a point. If you never watched the player, you can't speak on that shit, bro. You just don't know, bro. Y'all niggas really try to use analytics like that's really the best method to really get your point across. It's not. It's a terrible method. Analytics don't measure greatness in a player, bro. It don't. You just looking at numbers and say, oh, he's inefficient. He's not good like this guy. He's not as efficient as Steph Curry. Of course, nigga, he ain't fucking out here shooting threes like that. Kobe could get into the paint. Kobe could get closer to the basket than Steph Curry can. Curry can't get to the basket like Kobe could. Curry can't get in that mid-range, back him down, and then pull up for a post fadeaway over a motherfucker and do it repeatedly, time after time after time after time after time again. And just keep destroying teams until he got about like 40, 50 points. Curry can't do that. So don't sit up here and use analytics and efficiency. When I seen this man Kobe do the same, go to the same exact spot and do the same exact move 10 fucking times in a row. That nigga Kobe was really a different type of person, bro. Y'all niggas can't talk about my generation, bro. Y'all can't talk about the era of basketball that I grew up in because you didn't watch it, bro. Y'all niggas was born in like 2009, 2010, talking about some Kobe's overrated. All those players back then are overrated. All right, bro. Slap the shit out you, bro.
Barely talking about KD, but a lot of times you could be more efficient because you're less daring. You're less willing to make a mistake. Or you could look at someone like Zion Williamson, right? The efficiency is off the charts, right? The true shooting, but in reality, maybe you'd be a better player if you were a little bit less efficient, right? If you took a couple more mid-range jumpers, if you branched out, expanded your game a little bit more. So in the case of KD versus Kobe, it's not really a discussion I want to have. I don't really care who you choose in that equation. Like KD, that's a fine choice if you believe KD was the better player. But Kobe was the more daring player. Kobe was the more, I'm doing whatever I need to do on this court. Where KD is, I'm going to get to this exact spot. I've mastered this spot, and I'm going to shoot this pull-up 15-footer, and there's nothing.
And plus, that's the problem now. Too many players care about their stats more than just trying to win the game. Kobe was the type of nigga to try to win the game. Say what you want, but Kobe was the type of nigga that tried to win the game. Even if he was shooting the ball a little too much, he was still trying to win the game. He was still trying to break the defense down. Like, okay, he gonna be right there when I get right there. So let me make sure my boy right here. Let me make sure somebody over here, just in case they try to get me over here, just in case they trap me, I got somebody I can kick it to. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like these niggas today, they just like, all right. Just set a screen for me so I can get to my spot and just pull up. If I miss a couple, cool. And then if not, if I miss a couple and I'm just off, I'm going to just let y'all have it, bro. I'm not feeling it today. That's what a lot of these niggas really do, to be honest with you. Reality, bro, a lot of these niggas, bro, they just care about their stats. They don't care about winning the game, bro. They care about their numbers because they're trying to get them. Because if their numbers look good, they get better contracts. They only care about this money, bro. Don't nobody care about the love of the game no more, bro. Yeah, I'm trying to win. Nigga, it ain't that many in the game right now that's just trying to win. Like, Giannis is one of them niggas. Jimmy Butler is one of them niggas. Fucking, who else? I can't even think of anymore because so many niggas just care about their numbers just to get them contracts. And realistically, you should be worried about winning the game. If you the best player on the floor, if you the best player on the team, your focus should be, I need to get, how do I get here? I need to get here. How do I get, your goal should be, fuck all that bullshit. Let's just try to get here. Let's just try to win the game. Fuck all that bullshit. If I gotta drive to the basket and if I gotta drive to the basket through tough contact, then that's what I'm gonna do. If I gotta take a couple of mid ranges that I shouldn't be taking, I'm gonna do that. Sometimes you gotta take risks in order to see bigger rewards. Like everybody say Kobe shoots team. Sometimes Kobe would shoot his team in the foot. Yeah, but at least he was still trying to win the game. So the same thing about Allen Iverson. That nigga threw his, that nigga flung him, that nigga tore his body up to win a fucking game. Iverson would tear his body up to win a game. Put the ball in his hand, he finna go. He finna go. He don't care if he didn't care if it was Shaq down there. He didn't care if it was Yao Ming down there. He didn't care who the fuck was down there. Dwight Howard, he didn't care who was down there. Allen Iverson was gonna take you head on. Every time. He's coming back down there every time. A lot of people in the NBA say they hated Gardner Iverson because that nigga would just keep on coming and he wouldn't stop. Pause, no diddy. The efficiency is overrated as fuck, bro. And I wish we could get out this analytics bullshit and go back to like just, if you the best player on the team, you gotta lead us. Instead of, look, make this play right here, he's gonna be wide open in the corner. Y'all run the same play every time. Maybe that's why maybe that's why you're down by 30 right now. Maybe that's why you're down by 30 because you keep running the same fucking play with the same niggas in the fucking corner, and all they gotta do is just stand there and wait for you to just make that fucking move. Maybe you should switch it up. Maybe you should start running a couple of plays for your star player to get some buckets. He's your star player for a reason. The fuck?
You could do, of course, that guy's going to be more efficient. Whereas Kobe would do whatever it took, right? Kobe would take 15 3-pointers if he felt like it was necessary. Kevin Durant is always going to be in the Kevin Durant, these are my shots, I'm extremely efficient, you can't guard me. That's who I am. It's just obviously an amazing basketball player. I'm just not sure that makes him better, if that's your argument for better. And another nod to Kobe in the conversation, in my opinion, would be being relentless, right? Maybe you're going to be a little bit more inefficient when you're relentless. And I look at Westbrook, look at his playoff numbers, look at his playoff stats, the efficiency, it's terrible. Look at Allen Iverson's playoff stats, the efficiency is terrible. But they were relentless. And in the case of Westbrook, he was relentless a lot of times in moments where Kevin Durant, the better scorer, the more efficient guy, didn't bring that same relentlessness to the table. Where does that factor in? Intangibles have to mean something when we're talking about who's the better player. My two favorite players of all time are Kobe and Steph Curry, which is partly why I don't want to have the conversation about Kobe versus Kevin Durant, because I have a clear bias in that. But yeah, my two favorite players of all time, Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant. Relentless. And some of my favorite games from those guys are games where they were inefficient, games where they didn't have their shot, but they found ways to impact the game and get a dub. One of the most underrated Steph Curry games of all time, in my opinion, is the Game 6 at OKC. And it's underrated because everyone knows that as the Clay game, right? Game 6 Clay. But if you go back and watch that game, Steph Curry was battling out there. Like, he was giving it his all out there. He was 9 for 22, but he finished with 31 points, 10 boards, 9 assists. And no one talks about that game from Steph because it was the Clay game. But I remember that vividly. That's one of my favorite Steph Curry games of all time. Wasn't his most efficient game, right? In the case of Kobe, we all immediately go to Game 7, 2010 Finals, 6 of 24. We all remember that, 6 of 24. Terrible shooting night. but he battled, had 15 boards, and contributed to winning a championship.
Right.
I'm not gonna gas that performance like it was some other world.
If you can't do it on the scoreboard, then do it in other ways. Whatever it takes. That's the thing about basketball. It's about whatever it takes. It's not about getting your numbers. It's about whatever it takes. Kobe, terrible game. What does he do? He gets the boards. He plays good defense. He makes the right reads. He passed the ball to Ron Artest. Ron Artest hits one of the biggest shots of his career. And pretty much sealed the deal for them to win their championship.
Game for Kobe, but he struggled, he fought his way through it, and he was still relentless. That just has to mean something, in my opinion. And a lot of times I'll put more value in that than the guy that was 8 of 14 but never really went and tried to win the game. And when I say this, I know you guys are gonna say I'm coping as a Kobe fan, but it makes sense when you think about it. You gotta be bold enough to be inefficient. You gotta have no shame enough to be inefficient. You guys all remember the classic Allen Iverson game 1 where he steps over Ty Lue against the Lakers? How many shots do you think he took in that game? Now it's different.
Because Ty Lue was guarding. Hey, say what you want, but Ty Lue was actually guarding that man. And even though Ty Lue was guarding that man and giving him fits, he made Iverson earn that 40. And he put his heart and his soul into that. So say what you want about Iverson, but he did what he was supposed to do.
Situation. He didn't have the greatest teammates, all the caveats, but it's still probably more shots than you're thinking. Allen Iverson took 41 shots in that game. Now it did go to overtime, but if that's what it took, that's what it took for him to win that game. Played 52 minutes, took 41 shots. Who cares about efficiency? We're trying to win a game. This man took 162 shots in 5 games. That's over 32 shots per game. Regardless of who your teammates are, you know how bold you have to be to go do that in a finals, to take 32 shots a night? Where I look at someone like Kevin Durant, again, not to make it an anti-Kevin Durant thing, but there's some nights where OKC probably needed you to take more than 25 shots.
Right.
They probably needed you to go out there, be shameless, and take 35 shots. And maybe that's just not you, which is fine, but that's where the whole, where do we weigh efficiency with the relentlessness, right? And one of the, I think probably the best playoff game of Kevin Durant's career was that game he lost against Milwaukee with the foot on the line. We don't usually see Kevin Durant be that relentless to go take 36 shots. And you could for sure make an argument that it was out of necessity. Kyrie was out, James Harden was playing hobbled. But then I'd also say we've seen probably many games where it would have made a lot more sense for Kevin Durant to be more aggressive, to go be shameless, to go take 35 shots in a game because you're Kevin Durant, right? And I'm not saying Kevin Durant is a lesser player for that. I'm just saying when we have the conversation about efficiency, yeah, you're going to be more efficient when you don't go do that, when you're not going to be bold enough to go take 40 shots in a game like a Kobe or Iverson would. And clearly Kevin Durant is one of the most efficient scorers of all time because he's one of the most talented scorers of all time. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm just having a debate about, how we weigh efficiency, which brings me to Russell Westbrook, because I feel like he's kind of the poster child for this after Kobe. But I want to talk about the 2016 playoff run where they were going against 2 all-time teams, really, if you look at it by point differential. Obviously the 73-9 Warriors, but that Spurs team actually had the better point differential in that year. Crazy. They won 67 games and Westbrook just took that series from them, not by efficiency, by being relentless. 2-2 series, pivotal game 5 on the road, down by 6 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, and Westbrook completely steals that game. And you got the full Westbrook experience, 12 of 27 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. Why is Westbrook taking 7 threes? Don't know, but he needed to apparently. 8 turnovers, 11 boards, 9 assists, 2 steals. Relentless. -4 in the game, by the way. And to be clear, this is not me saying Westbrook was better than KD. I'm not saying that. but I am saying KD was more likely to just kind of just go with the flow when in this game they needed someone to go get the game, and Westbrook is that guy.
That's always been KD problem. He's a go with the flow type of guy. He's never been the type of guy to really just like say fuck it. Like, cause if KD ever had that mentality to just say fuck it, I'm gonna just go out there and do what I gotta do regardless. Even if I shoot my team out the game, I'm gonna just, as long as I'm putting the shots up, we gotta do what we gotta do to get that victory. All y'all had to do was win one game against the Warriors. All y'all do was win one game. At some point, you just gotta say fuck it. This is for the championship. You gotta just say fuck it. Russ always had that fuck it mentality, but KD, he never really had it. Some games he has it, but for most of his career, he's never had it. He's always been the, I'm gonna get to my spot, I'm gonna do me. It's like, no, that's not good enough. Do you, but do it 10 times more. Why you think Kobe was putting up like 10,000 shots in the off season? Kobe put up 10,000 shots in the off season. Relentless. You have to be relentless. You have to have no fear. The best shot is the shots that you take. The worst shot is the shots that you don't take. Always remember that. The worst shots is the shots that you don't take. So if you're not taking the shots, are you really helping your team? Because you care about your numbers and your efficiency and your legacy more than just trying to say fuck it and go out there and win the game. So what if you have a bad game, efficient wise? Did you do what was needed to do to get it there? It's like, I did the best I could. Even if I shot my team out, I'm going to still do the best I can. Because I'm trying to win. I'm not trying to look good for the stat sheet. Fuck a stat sheet. Get the win. That's the most important thing in basketball, is winning. But in today's time, we got all these participation trophy awards, and now losing is justified now. It's okay to lose, i.e. LeBron fans. But I digress.
Ends up with 11 points, 4 boards, and 3 assists in the fourth quarter alone. Now, the next game, Kevin Durant did what Kevin Durant does. 37 points, 12 of 14 from the field, 12 of 12 from the line, 9 boards. An extremely efficient Kevin Durant game. Westbrook plays well in this game as well, has 6 turnovers again, but 28 points, 12 assists, 10 of 21 from the field. Very good, right? Then we head to game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, a series we all remember for how great it was, but there were really only a couple great games in the series, and I would say game 1 was one of those great games. And another road game against a historically great team, Westbrook absolutely steals this game. Again, not with efficiency. Russ was 7 for 21 in this game. The Warriors were up 13 going into the second half. And Westbrook, with his intensity, took that game to a completely different level. Ends up with 7 steals in the game. Has 19 of his 27 points in the third quarter, gets to the free throw line 14 times, and completely takes this game from the Warriors in their arena. Now we know what ends up happening. They end up losing that series, game 6 Clay, right? But if we can live in the hypothetical for a second, if they would have won that series, those 2 games, game 5 at San Antonio, game 1 at Golden State, would have been iconic. You need to win 1 game on the road, and Westbrook went out and got you both of them. And to be fair, OKC did win game 2 in San Antonio. San Antonio won game 3 in OKC, so they were going back and forth, but the pivotal game 5 on the road, Westbrook went out and got it for you. Game 1 against the Warriors, you only needed to win 1 road game. Westbrook went out and got it for you, and again, not with efficiency. He shot below 40% in both of those series. And you guys might disagree, but if you were to ask me, Westbrook was their best player in that playoff run. Now, that playoff run was a weird one from Kevin Durant. That was his most inefficient playoff run. He only shot 43% from the field and 28% from 3. So maybe I wouldn't be saying the same thing if it was Kevin Durant, the normal Kevin Durant, 50% from the field, 38% from 3. Maybe I wouldn't be saying Westbrook was their best player, but he was the leader. He had the intangibles. He was relentless. And to me, all that is just as important as efficiency a lot of times.
Yep.
which we don't ever bring up. Another guy I want to bring up in terms of efficiency, someone we never even questioned about his efficiency as a player, and it's not like he was an inefficient player, but Tim Duncan. And let me reiterate, I'm not here saying Tim Duncan was inefficient, but I just remember a lot of games growing up where Tim Duncan was struggling to score the ball. And I know we don't think of Tim Duncan in this light, but Tim Duncan was also relentless. The 2005 championship.
I think Tim Duncan at the five. I don't know if it was a five or the four. I think it was a five. At times he would struggle at the five because mostly he dominated like power forward. Like him and Kevin Garnett would have battles, but he always get the best of Kevin Garnett. Like you put him up against Shaq or Ben Wallace, they gonna give him some problems. Defensive, big, stocky guys, they gonna give him problems. Granted, he has the footwork and the finesse and the fundamentals to get buckets over them, but when they're good defenders, it's kind of tough. Like somebody like Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard used to give Tim Duncan problems, bro. Prime Dwight Howard, not even prime Dwight Howard, entering his prime, like a young Dwight Howard was giving Tim Duncan problems. Because that's how good Dwight was on defense.
Which I feel like is Tim Duncan's best run, like considering no injury luck, considering the competition, considering he was the main guy, like, you know, it wasn't Tony Parker, it wasn't Kawhi. Like, to me, this was Tim Duncan's best run. And in that finals, he played the Pistons, right? An extremely tough team. Tim Duncan shot 42% from the field. Shot 42% from the field. No one cares because he was relentless. He battled through it. And no one brings up efficiency in that conversation ever, really. Tim Duncan played in 48 playoff series, right? He shot under 50% in 24 of those 48 playoff series. And shooting under 50% doesn't mean you were inefficient, but for a big man, kinda, right?
Yeah.
But it's never brought up with Tim Duncan. And maybe the reason it's sticking in my mind is because the series that really made me fall in love with basketball was Lakers, Spurs, 2008 conference finals. I was 11 years old. And Tim Duncan in that series got completely locked up. Like Powell, Lamar in that series did a great job on Tim Duncan. He shot 42% from the field again in that series. Maybe I'm harping on it too much because he did shoot 50% from the field in his playoff career, a total of 48 series, right? So it's not like he was inefficient. I just think it's funny how we pick and choose when we want to harp on it. And especially now when people are so stats driven, right? People think they're so smart because they can go look up something on Basketball Reference, myself included on that, right? But you might go look up Carmelo stats years from now and it's not going to be impressive. The efficiency is not going to be impressive. And you're probably going to be thinking, oh, this player was so much better than Carmelo, when maybe that's not the case.
Not at all.
But it's also happening right now in real time where you got guys that are more efficient. Does that mean they're better, right?
No.
You look at someone like Trae Young compared to someone like Halliburton. Halliburton's more efficient. Is he better than Trae Young because he's more efficient? I don't know. And a lot of it obviously comes down to your personal preference on a player. Maybe I'd have a different opinion of this if Kobe wasn't my favorite player of all time. You know, maybe I'd care a lot more about efficiency if KD was my favorite player, right? Because that would boost his argument. We all pick and choose. We're all hypocrites. It's human nature. I'm someone that will go to bat for Allen Iverson, also someone that in my younger years would say Jason Kidd was overrated. Even though I have very few memories of watching prime Jason Kidd, I just look at the numbers and say, man, this guy was putting up 12 points a game. And
I never cared for Jason Kidd. I'm gonna be one of those. I was one of them kids that did not care for Jason Kidd. I knew he was good. I never would doubt that he wasn't good. But I never cared for him. Like people bring up Jason Kidd. So I remember one kid was a Jason Kidd fan. He'd be like, bro, Jason Kidd is the best point guard in the league. Shut the fuck up. Don't nobody care about no Jason Kidd. Bro, he like top 3 best players in the league right now over Kobe and Shaq. I mean, behind Kobe and Shaq, over Iverson. Yeah, he's way better than Iverson. Nigga, Iverson leading the league in scoring and steals. What are you talking about? Shut up. But the Sixers have a bad record. Shut up. Give a fuck. Talk about my boy. Get your ass, nigga.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Give no fuck about no goddamn Jason Kidd. Fuck Jason Kidd. But he gonna go to the finals, but he went to the finals twice.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Shooting below 40%. No way it was that good. It was a different time, though. It was a different time. And maybe Jason Kidd wouldn't flourish in today's NBA. Before his time, I don't think we should hold the efficiency against him like that. And you know what? To just be real for a second, maybe this is all just me getting old, right? I don't want people to forget how good these people of my childhood were. And that's probably not going to happen, right? No one's going to forget how good Kobe was. No one's going to forget how good AI was, Westbrook, right? But they are going to have the efficiency conversation because we're going to see a lot of people that come through that have similar accolades, that put up similar numbers, that are going to be more efficient. And people are going to say that guy was better at basketball than Kobe Bryant because he shot the ball a little bit better. Like, that just rubs me the wrong way, but maybe that's just me being old. Maybe that's me being old, approaching 30. But you guys let me know. Do you feel like efficiency is maybe a little bit overrated when it comes to how we talk about players? Obviously, I believe, yes, it is. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please drop a like.
Alrighty, that's just gonna about do it for this one, man. Hey man, efficiency is definitely overrated. It does not show the heart of a play. Your greatness is determined by your heart. Are you willing to put it all on the line? Are you willing to put it all on the line? To win a game. A lot of these dudes don't do that because they care about their stats, their money, and what people say on social media. That's really what it is. People just scared about getting roasted on social media, being a trending topic on social media, and getting roasted for it. But at the end of the day, though, man, fuck efficiency, fuck analytics. I'm always gonna stick to the early 2010s and the 2000s, 90s era of basketball where it's like fuck efficiency. The best player on the court, get him the ball, get the fuck out of his way, and let him do what he got to do to get us to win. Because those are the dudes that had the most heart. Those are the dudes that gave us the most memories. Nowadays, everybody just doing the same shit. Anyway, so let's just go about do it for this one. I'll see y'all next video. Till then, peace out.